power is in numbers. That's how we take the fear out of our community. You hold the power. I can't sit back and say, why isn't anybody doing anything about this when I am anybody? My name is Ruby Annette Carter Welch, and I live in Mapleville, Arkansas.
Ruby showed up on my radar back in 2018. We had been in a few rooms together hearing about our connection on public policy, particularly criminal justice reform.
I've been working with different people to get laws passed, but they were picking my brains, getting all the information, and pushing me to the corner.
She needed that access, and we needed her talents and knowledge and lived experiences. And we just started gravitating because she was doing work. She had a bias towards action, and that's what we needed.
I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off because I really didn't understand what I was doing. I just show up at your office, hi, my name is Ruby Welch, this is what I'm doing. And most people are like, I don't have time. I learned early on that people didn't look at me as Ruby, a woman with a voice. They looked at me as Ruby, an inmate. Brick and mortar does not a prison make. Some of us are in prison within our mind. It was in prison that I found my freedom. I had to realize that nobody was coming to save me. Nobody. And that made me take a overlook of my past life. And so I give back to the community by being a resource in any manner, shape, form, or fashion that I can.
The thing about Ruby is that she has this energy that attracts people to her. She is a galvanizing force in her community. She gets us in front of those communities to be able to explain what policies we're working on that will make their life better, to where they're going to have more decision rights over their own lives.
AFP 100% invests in people. As they pour into me, I pour out into the community.
What AFP offers is a platform, resources, support, and education on the issues that Ruby already cares about. Together, Ruby and I have been able to work on tax reform, on education, on healthcare reform, on criminal justice reform, and see the needle moved and see people's life improved in the state of Arkansas.
AFP was not just a mouthpiece. AFP showed me that they were my hands and my feet. And it's so much better when people ask me what I want to do, or anybody, because that empowers us.
Bottom-up solutions is very important to us. Those that are living in the problem are usually the best to solve the problem. Ruby and I are very focused on finding people whose lives are frustrated. They can't see themselves achieving any kind of dream, much less the full-on American dream for themselves. And we tell them there is hope, there is a process, there is a path. You can work with us. You can make the difference. It's not just something we tell you, it's something we equip you to do. I come from a family that has very passionate and strong women in it. And I want my daughter to be that way. I want her to be a change maker. And Ruby and my daughter, Gracie, have become very close because they're kindred spirits in a way.
She's a really, really rounded person. It reminds me of me when I was younger, but enough people weren't paying attention to feed into me. So I want to be that person to feed into Gracie.
My daughter's a very strong-willed little girl. She needs positive role models, and I'm happy to have Ruby. If you would have told me years ago that someone with Ruby's background would have been someone I'd allow to speak into my daughter's life and help her grow, I would have not believed it. At the core of who Ruby is one of the best human beings you'd ever meet. And I want that to be my daughter's story too.
I know for a fact that I would not be where I am today if it was not for Ryan Norris. I probably would have gave up because I didn't have anybody backing me up. I consider him the epitome of AFP because of his kindness, his straightforwardness, and his truthfulness and transparency.
I love the work that I do because I get to see people like Ruby who take the power that they have inherently and are able to affect change in their communities.
You can get two people from two separate walks of life, and you can bring them together, and they can make greatness happen. I just took one small step, and I partnered with AFP.
Ruby was already a force. She just needed AFP to be a force multiplier.